Sometimes the most personal gifts come from wood we already have at home. This time, I made an elegant jewelry stand for my daughter, something both practical and beautiful. In this video, I'll guide you through the entire process, step by step. I started with a pre-prepared walnut board. First, I sketched the shape of the base, the simple yet elegant foundation for the stand. Once the shape of the base was sketched onto the board, I carefully cut it out using a bandsaw. After cutting out the base, I sanded the outer edge using a disc sander. This removed any imperfections and prepared the surface for further work. Using a mini angle grinder, I sanded both the top and bottom edges of the base. For the central post, I also used walnut wood. I first cut the piece on a bandsaw. It's about 20 centimeters long, or roughly 8 inches. The blank should be thick enough to allow turning a post with a diameter of at least 1.5 centimeters, or about 5/8 inch. Once the walnut blank was ready, I mounted it on the lathe and began shaping the central post. While turning, I focused on keeping the diameter consistent and the surface smooth, as this part will hold the crossbars and connect the entire stand. At the bottom of the post, I shaped a tenon joint to fit precisely into the hole in the base. This type of joint ensures stability and a clean connection. At the top of the post, I shaped a rounded knob, which makes the stand easier to carry and adds a decorative touch to the overall design. Before moving on, I quickly smoothed the top of the post using an angle grinder. Once the post was finished, I carefully parted it off from the remaining wood using a skew chisel. After parting off, I sanded the top of the post where it was separated from the remaining wood. Using a sanding sponge, I smoothed all the edges of the base. Then I marked the spot for drilling the hole where the post will be mounted. In my case, the hole is centered on the base. After marking the center of the base, I drilled a hole for mounting the post. The diameter of the hole should match the tenon joint to ensure a snug fit and good stability. For the crossbars, I used a pre-made beechwood rod with a diameter of 6 millimeters, or about 1/4 inch, and cut for equal pieces, each about 7.5 centimeters, or 3 inches long. I sanded both ends of the cut rods to remove sharp edges and prepare clean, smooth surfaces for assembly. I marked for positions on the post for the crossbars and drilled the holes precisely and at the correct angle, so the rods will be well aligned and securely fitted. To ensure that all the holes were drilled at the correct angle, I inserted a rod into the first hole and used it as a reference when drilling the others. Once all the parts were prepared and fit precisely, I moved on to gluing. I started by gluing all 4 crossbars to the post. It's important to make sure they are properly aligned with the posts so that everything stays straight and balanced. To attach the post to the base, I first applied glue inside the hole in the base and onto the tenon of the post. Then I joined the 2 parts, making sure the post was positioned vertically and fit snugly into place. Once the glue has fully dried, I move on to the final coating. For this, I use a clear water-based varnish, which highlights the wood grain and is environmentally friendly. With the varnish fully dried and all joints secure, the piece is ready for use. Let's take a look at the finished product, showcasing the warmth of the wood, the precision of the craftsmanship, and the simple elegance of its final form.